us all rise for the national anthem. Christian Bako, please come and render it.
Bless our homeland, Ghana, and make our nation great and strong, bold to defend forever the cause of freedom and of right. Fill our hearts with true humility. Make us cherish fearless honesty and help us to resist oppressors' rule with all our will and might forevermore. And help us to resist oppressors' rule with all our will and might forever.
Thank you. Be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor to welcome you all to this stunning campus located at Brekusu, and also to the 15th annual graduation ceremony of Ashesi University. We are gathered here this morning to honor the efforts and achievements of the class of 2019. This class is so unique. For the very first time in our history, we are graduating the first batch of engineering students who have studied in the fields of mechanical, electronics and electrical, and computer engineering, alongside their colleagues from the business administration and computer science departments. MIS is included in the computer science department. These graduates have worked so hard during the past 4 years and are well prepared to make significant contributions towards the development of their respective countries and continents. On behalf of the Board of Directors of Ashesi University, members of the Executive Committee, faculty and staff, the alumni, students, and entire Ashesi community, I congratulate you, the class of 2019, for this remarkable accomplishment. I thank your parents, families, friends, lecturers, and administrators, and all who have supported you throughout this journey. We wish you the best of luck in your future endeavor. Thank you. I have on the stage Petra. Is a student here in Ashesi, and she is doing the sign language. I now call on the Provost of Ashesi University, Professor Angela Owusu-Ansah, to give us the opening reading.
Good morning. I would like to read a few excerpts on courage from Deuteronomy, Theodore Roosevelt, our own Patrick Awia, John Bingham, and others. It reads as follows: Be strong and courageous, because you will lead people. Do not be terrified or discouraged to make change. And to really make change, you must have courage. The courage to imagine something new, the courage to act, and the courage to persist through setbacks. We all recognize those leaders whose dramatic acts of courage changed the world. We are well familiar with the actions of political leaders such as Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King, Mohandas Gandhi, and Nelson Mandela, of innovators such as Steve Jobs, Thomas Edison, and Alexander Bell, and of pioneering scientists such as Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein, and Charles Darwin. But courage is not always about big dramatic events. It is often about quiet, determined action every day at work and at home. The courage to say sorry when you wrong someone. The courage to be introspective and honest with yourself. The courage to join a cause you believe in and to do all you can to help it succeed. And let's not forget the courage to find strength in humility and humility in strength, as portrayed by the Adinkra symbol, Ojani-Meng, which emphasizes that even the strong need to be humble. Courage is not without its challenges. The courage to even imagine a different future means you risk being misunderstood and criticized. But it's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly. That is the miracle of courage, such as our engineering students and their families here today demonstrated when they ventured into uncertainty as pioneers of Ashesi's engineering program. Their courage almost at par with the pioneer students, faculty, and administrators who in 2001-2002 their lives in the hands of a relatively unknown fledgling university named Ashesi, which proposed a novel approach to higher education on the African continent. Or such as the miracle of your class's courage to imagine something new at Ashesi and acting on it by expanding the honor code to include a social code. And what about the miracle of today? Is it as you imagined it? These past 4 years, as you persevered courageously to get here, we have been waiting to celebrate you. The miracle isn't that you failed. The miracle is that you had the courage to start.
Thank you. That reading. I have the honor to introduce to you the people we have on stage. We have Dean Abdul Mahdi, the Dean of Students and Community Affairs. We have the Provost, Professor Osu Angela Ansah. We also have the President of Ashesi University, Patrick Awia. We have our commencement speaker, Mr. Samuel Atamensa. We have our board chair, Pearl Eswamensa. We have our alumni president, Abdul Latif Isahaku. We have Mr. Sangudene, board member. We also have Joseph Hansen, the alumni speaker. We have our own Professor Emeritus, Professor Stephen Adaye. We also have Reverend Professor Pashington Obeng, the Dean of Arts and Sciences. We have here Dr. Ayoko Kosa, Head of the Department of Computer Science. We have Araba Botri, the Director of Admissions and Financial Aid, and also an Executive Committee member. Have here our own Yasmin Buckner, the COO, the Chief Operating Officer of Ashesi. I cannot leave out Dr. Stephen Ama, the Head of Department, Business Administration. We have here the Dean of Engineering, the Acting Dean of Engineering, Dr. Nathan Amankwa. We have Mona Boyd, who is a member of our board of directors. She's here. Yawa Hansen Kwao, our own Yawa Hansen Kwao, board member. I've been informed that the landlord of this place, the chief of Brekusu, is here, is entering now. Please let us all rise. So we have Nana Oten Kuranchi II, the Brekusuhini and the Trafohini of the Kwapim traditional area, and his elders. You are welcome. They are the custodians of this land and the landlords to Ashesi. Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you. Nana and the elders, you are welcome. I was actually doing the introductions when you arrived, and I've mentioned your name already and introduced you. So you are welcome, Nana. We also have on the stage Mrs. Atamensa, who is the wife of our commencement speaker. We shall proceed immediately, and I invite onto the stage the class speaker, Jean Ni Odate Kwakupom.
Hello? Before I begin, 2019. 2019. That's proper. Nana Otin Kranchi II, Nana Num, President of Ashesi, Dr. Patrick Ewa, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the making of history. For over a decade, Ashesi has used the raw material of a world-class education to produce leaders who fully embody the core principles of scholarship, leadership, and citizenship. Each year, a batch of these students are celebrated on Commencement Day in recognition are not here simply to receive academic grades, but to be acknowledged for the first graduating class of Ashesi engineering students. Ever take the foundations of this entrepreneurship course. And the first the class party and not show up. It is our collective pleasure to welcome you all to the presence of pioneers. My name is Jean Ni Odate Kwaku. Humbled to be the When we first started out on this ethical and entrepreneurial leadership journey, we were naive, used, to each other, and together we made it. That is our story. Whatever you can do in for shaping and sharing our story of togetherness. You stretched us. Our story continues. And here I'd like to talk about one of the most beautiful is our ability family. And the time we have spent together flourished into relationships. Some attachments even flourished in relationships, proving that our togetherness was strong enough to lead us into love. That's powerful. The real power, however, belongs to the families who helped us to build our own. The powers of their support were the blessings that sustained us and made sure we stayed part of the Ashesi Commencement come today. Because I wanted something back to my parents. Every day for the past final year, I'd wake up to a text message from my dad saying, "We are praying, son," and a text message from my mom saying, "You are God's best child." My brother would always support me, and my sister from many miles away would always tell me. So to my family, thank you so much. Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power. I'll two chapters. First, the genius of family. This third chapter is about magic. In many ways, it's a different world. Hard for it. There's a magic here that turns into realities. A magic that first began when Patrick's dream to transform our continent know all about realities. In class, and David Bueno, an information systems major who is telling beautiful stories of Africa through filmmaking. We also recognize Victor Hazel's Hilltop Radio, Eugene James Electronics, a world where hard work meets opportunity to make the impossible possible. To the donors, partners, and staff of Ashesi, and to Patrick, We are grateful to you for creating the perfect setting where our story could come to life. Nana Otenkranche II, Nananum, President of Ashesi, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the end game, and our story has reached its final chapter. It's time to talk about boldness. Truly, our pioneering spirit has made us the first batch of engineering students ever to graduate from Ashesi, and the first class to break ground at Ashesi's ultramodern sports center in celebration of Commencement Day. But the history we are making today is reminiscent of the history ago. It celebrated the graduation of its first batch of students. Now, these are the original pioneers, risk takers, the crazy ones, who were bold enough to set a remarkable precedent and pave the way in hopes that a class like ours would become the pioneers of our time. And we did. For some of us, when our story of togetherness first began, the only boldness we had was in being the first group to present in the Petty's FDE class. Or coming to class 5 minutes after it had started. For others, boldness became choosing the operations management exam question where you had to draw a whole house of quality. But today, as we celebrate the end of a rewarding journey, we must see boldness differently. From now on, boldness should no longer be about doing what no one else could ever do, but about doing what you thought you never could. Guys, it is no longer enough to be different from everyone else. We must be inwardly transformational, challenging ourselves before we challenge the world. And if this continent is ever going to feel the shake of our step, then we must step out of our comfort zones and become pioneers of a new kind of boldness. And we must do so the same way we have done everything, together. Class of 2019, it has been an honor to have been chosen to tell our story of togetherness to the world today. Without a doubt, our boldness carries all the genius, power, and magic that is needed to transform our continent. So whatever we can do or dream we can, let us begin it together. Thank you.
Please give it up to him. Yes. That's great, Jane. That's very good. That's good. I will continue to introduce to you our great administrators and staff by preparing these students for the world. And there's one person that I do not normally introduce. I don't think I've remembered most of the time, but I think it is important that I do that. Without any waste of time at all, of Ashesi University, Dr. Patrick Ewa, to give this.
Thank you and good morning, everyone. Ministers and members of parliament present, Odefo Otenkranche II, Nananum, members of the board, distinguished guests, parents, family, and friends, and dear class of 2019. Welcome to the 15th commencement ceremony of Ashesi University. Dear members of the class of 2009 who are here today, we're thrilled to have you return to campus today as you celebrate 10 years since your own graduation ceremony. Sitting here today, I'm sure and class of 2019, when you first joined this community, we had just celebrated 13 years of Ashesi. But in so many ways, your arrival also heralded a lot of new beginnings here. During your time here, we successfully completed 15 new campus construction projects spanning classrooms, labs and workshops, recreation spaces, faculty research spaces, faculty and administrative offices, and on-campus student housing. During your time here, we received our presidential charter, granting us full rights to award our own degrees. Ashesi University's recognition has continued to grow around the world. And this year, for the first time, Ashesi made it into the Global Times Higher Ed ranking of universities that are making an impact in the world. With your class, Ashesi implemented a major curriculum redesign, a restructuring that deepened our efforts to teach critical thinking, design thinking, problem solving, and entrepreneurship. Your incredible student government executives, led by Edwin and Benjamin, will go down in our history as having set a new bar for how Ashesi Student Council ought to operate. And I'm not just saying this because they majored in engineering like I did, but really, thank you very much. And of course, has the honor of being Ashesi's very first engineering student to campus. You've contributed towards making Ashesi a more excellent institution for future generations. I think you deserve an A+. And this is the first time I've said that at a graduation ceremony, by the way. A+, thank you. So as you graduate today, I wish you courage, class of 2019. The challenges and responsibilities that you will likely face will test you and require even more of you than your time here has done. 3 days ago, I had a conversation with the founder of an NGO who asked me a very pointed question. Patrick, do you think Ghana is worth dying for? So I asked him, why are we talking about dying for Ghana? And he stated simply that sometimes he wasn't so sure that Ghana would advance, despite all the work he and others were doing, and he wondered if he should persist. My response, we need people amongst us who, despite all the challenges and obstacles that confront us, maintain their courage and optimism that things will get better, and who will work hard to make it so. All across this continent, we need courageous citizens and leaders who see opportunities in our adversity. Instead of asking, is Ghana or Kenya or Uganda or Nigeria worth dying for? I encourage you to ask, am I living a worthy life that will make things better for future generations of my country and humanity? I also confessed to him that through the years, I have come to see that there are two significant attitudes in Ghana that seem to work against each other in our drive for prosperity. On the one hand, Ghanaians value and understand that peace, unity, and neighborliness are essential for growth and prosperity. Across the society, we hear consistent reminders about the importance of working together to change Ghana for the better. We see broad condemnations of violence, especially when it occurs around our politics. We hear it when we turn on the radio and listen to Bernard Avley and Daniel Dadzi and others discuss issues confronting Ghana. We hear it from our religious leaders, from our chiefs and the elders. This overwhelming desire of Ghanaian citizens for peace in our country speaks of a profound collective wisdom that gives me hope for this country. On the other hand, however, there doesn't appear to be the same strength of conviction when it comes to the issue of corruption. There doesn't seem to be that same visceral collective antipathy towards corruption as there is to violence. There does not seem to be a collective understanding that corruption, especially the looting of public monies, is fundamentally a violent act against citizens, and especially against the most vulnerable. Think about all the roads that could have been built, the hospitals, the schools, the water and sanitation systems, and the security systems that could have been developed if more of the public's monies were used for the public good instead of being squirreled into the personal accounts of corrupt officials. Corruption seems to have become such an accepted way of life in Ghana that there are now many who believe it cannot be addressed, who have lost hope, and who themselves feel justified going along with it. This is profoundly unwise. And this is why, despite 11 years of having run an examination honor system here at Ashesi, the idea of it still is often met with disbelief. In reaction to a recent news story about our honor system that was posted on Ashesi social media, there were many who responded and insisted that it was ridiculous to trust students to take exams without invigilators. Quote, "This will never be possible. Ashesi must have cameras in classrooms," unquote. Quote, "I like Ashesi, but I think this honor system is a bad idea," unquote. Think about that for a second. That in Ghana today, there are so many people who do not believe that students at the highest levels of our educational system cannot hold each other to account, cannot act with integrity. That these future leaders of our society, without a supervisor in the room, cannot conduct exams ethically. Think about that for a minute. That in Ghana, it is widely accepted that students at the oldest and largest institutions of, quote, higher learning will cheat whenever they can, do not have a deep grounding in ethical philosophy, and do not have the courage to hold their peers accountable. Some people tell me, "Patrick, your students at Ashesi are very smart, creative, and capable, but they're too idealistic. They don't seem to understand how things are done here." They're talking about you, class of 2019, as well as the alumni of this institution who have gone before you. But perhaps, rather than be discouraged by this, we should feel a hope that comes from hearing others tell us that Ashesi students and alumni are in fact behaving ethically and are refusing to go along with, quote, how things are done here, unquote. And isn't it interesting that Ashesi alumni are so sought after in the world of work? These smart, creative, capable, and yes, these idealistic citizens of our country, of our countries in Africa. Through your time here, class of 2019, we have asked you to strive to demonstrate the courage that it takes to build a community of trust. We have asked you to rise up to the occasion many times, and often you have. We, the faculty and staff of this institution, have also strived to be the models of accountable leadership. When you or we have failed, we have worked together to learn from the failure and to correct it. Just as we have held you to account, you have also held us to account. The next stage of your life, however, will test your Ashesi values more severely than we have done in this bubble we call Ashesi University. I hope that you will have the fortitude to remain steadfast to your values. Wherever you find yourself, in government, in private enterprise, in the social sector, remain true to the words of our national anthem, cherish fearless honesty. All around you today, you're surrounded by fellow Ashesi alumni. Many of them are walking the same path you're now stepping onto. Look at them as allies in this next phase of your lives. Look at them as comrades in the work to continue reshaping the narrative of this continent. They have faced many of the challenges you will be facing. Some may have stumbled at some point, corrected their mistakes, and will have valuable insights to share about what they learned. To families and friends gathered here today, I encourage you too to find the courage to be allies to these students as they forge ahead. Don't call them naive to believe they can operate in their various communities without paying a bribe or being corrupted. Don't call them idealistic for believing that they have the capacity to influence the world and solve problems big and small. Work with them, encourage them, lend them your experiences, share their hope. And sometimes, no matter how tempted we may be to point out to them how unrealistic their plans are, let us share in their naivete. Ashesi is here because I was naive about what I could or could not do. Google is here because their founders were naive about what they could or could not do. So let us share and encourage this kind of bold naivete. Because as I told the chief executive who asked me, is Ghana worth dying for?
And everybody will hear. Thank you very much. And let me say this before I start. Two things, and then I'll just get to the speech. Many years ago, he invited me, who was trying to sell a land to me. And driving down here just took my mind back to that particular day. Indeed, the gentleman took me to the other side of this hill to offer me the land. And I remember the feeling. In my head, I was telling myself that this guy is a very wicked guy. I thought I wanted a land which was close to Accra, because that was where civilization was. I saw forest on my left, forest on my right. Down there was even scarier. Then he said to me that very soon Ashesi University will be having their football stadium here. That didn't convince me. That was the last time I visited this area. I ran away. Now coming back and seeing the transformation, now I want to go and look for the guy. Secondly, when I had my invitation, it took me a while to respond. Now the reason I delayed was that I was trying to find excuses and reasons why I should not come. And the only reason I was trying to find excuses and the delay was that I actually thought it was a mistake. Patrick, I actually believed that it was someone else who was meant to be the commencement speaker. Because the questions I kept asking about, who am I? I'm just another media man just making noise every morning. So Patrick called me and said to me that, well, we are waiting to hear from you. And I said, Patrick, I will do it. Only I'll do it. I didn't say anything sensible, but I said I'll do it. And then the reality started coming back to me. Commencement. Jesus Christ. In our day, we didn't know what commencement was. I mean, all we knew was that, Charlie, we're done with school and just check out of campus for others to come in. Let me thank the President, the Board of Governors, the students, the parents, and the entire leadership of Ashesi University, indeed, for inviting me to speak at this occasion. Honestly, I do not take this for granted. It's a real honor. Like I said, my initial thoughts when I received this invitation actually felt like a contradiction with the theme. Because we had gone through all our education in Ghana, tortured with what we used to call our day, which actually signified the end of all the struggles, our tribulations, and the challenges that we endured during the school term. And therefore, when you were done with the term, you were given something called a terminal report. It's ended. But this occasion, although it marks the successful completion of our university life, it's also the beginning of a new journey. Now, at some point, I am sure I'll be sounding like Mr. Kwakupo, because he said half of everything I'm going to say. So thank you for doing a good job. Let me also be quick to disappoint you. Now, the completion here only refers to the completion of the days spent on the campus of Ashesi, and not the end of being a student. Life itself is going to throw a lot of complex lessons at you as you progress. And it's not only those who carry on, and it's for only those who carry on with a student learning attitude who will be able to locate their opportunities. At this point, let me be quick to congratulate the Ashesi class of 2019. I'm a good student after all. For going through your various programs successfully, I also want to congratulate the faculty of lecturers who have instructed the students throughout their years at Ashesi University. And just maybe a good time to congratulate our parents and guardians who made it possible for our students to even gain entry into this university in the first place, the financial support, emotional support. Now, these parents indeed deserve our commendation. From the very first day they dropped off the awards in this Ashesi location in Brekusu, a name which I believe some of you parents may have had to Google a number of times before convincing yourselves that it existed. Brekusu. You dropped off your awards amidst uncertainties, anxieties, only believing in the promise of Ashesi University, driving back to your empty homes, surviving the lonely moments that the departure of your children had created. What an extraordinary sacrifice on the part of our parents. Now, my main mission here, my dear students, is to give you a charge that will help you navigate the course of your next journey. The next journey which you commence today. Even in physical journeys, one must necessarily have an idea of their destination in order to chart their paths effectively. I'm here to encourage you and also give you an idea of the realities that lie ahead of you. I must say that there are some real complex situations ahead, as real life would have it. Convenience and comfort may have been common to you, but you better make peace with inconvenience and discomfort now. The reality is that we have made acquaintances while on campus. We have made new friends. We have established new relationships that have now become almost family. We should not, however, forget the fact that we walked into this campus as individuals. And today, even though we graduate as a class, we walk away from here as individuals. In your reflective moments, there are questions that will keep coming back to you. They'll be flooding you like Kakai. Questions like, where do I go from here? What does the future hold for me? How am I going to survive this unfriendly, unemployment-dominated labor market? Now, if you find yourself asking some of these questions, just know you are not alone. Because many years ago, when I walked out of campus KNUST, I asked myself all these questions and even some more. We left campus with the feeling that the future was actually light years away. But we were soon to realize that our tomorrow apparently was only 24 hours away. The future had already started. Your future has just begun. And if you're a Ghanaian, this is a good time to say happy commencement, as we say with all our occasions. Now here, happy new month, happy new day. So happy commencement. We looked into the future with a high degree of uncertainty, and we lived one day at a time, being victims of what the day had to offer. But as for me, I believed God. I believed God that one day things would turn around, that my labor would not be in vain. Coming out of school, we were expected to do our national service. And I was fortunate enough to do my national service at an institution which is known to many people, the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. But at this point, having graduated in computer science with all theory and no practice, I did not have enough to give me the required experience in industry. So while I was doing my service, I managed to get employed alongside at an IT company. So managed to combine the tasks of being a national service person and also working secretly, I must say. And this gave me a smooth entry into my first job with ICL Computers. With all my experiences that I garnered in my first part of my career journey, one lesson that stood out for me is one's ability to know who you are and what comes naturally to you. Now, knowing who you are will give you a wholesome sense of identity. Now, what makes you uncomfortable as a person? What do you find funny? In our society, too many people find things funny only because others find them funny. But no, you have to know who you are, and when you know who you are, you will learn to love yourself. And I'm talking about loving your good self, your not so good self, and your ugly self. If you get this right, nobody will succeed at throwing empty love proposals at you. And I hear an amen from the young ladies. Learn to do the things that give you fulfillment, the things that make you love yourself more, the things that help you to know yourself more. These things and more will help you walk into your purpose. And speaking of purpose, it sounds so much like a cliche which you hear in most commencement speeches, of course. But in my world, I don't believe that purpose is something that has to be manufactured. With the knowing that God created each one of us for a purpose. Our duty is therefore to find that purpose. But it's not enough to find your purpose, because you know, after finding your purpose, you would need people around you, and purpose will achieve more if you are able to create a higher sense of purpose, or a sense of higher purpose within your immediate community. And this is how you can get the necessary support from your friends and family. Because of the cliched nature of commencement speeches, I thought that I'll let you know some of these things through my personal experiences. Now, I happen to be very active in extracurricular activities while on campus. And this is what exposed me to other capabilities and talents that I had, which were not manifested in my academic journey. I spent a lot of time working with Queen's Hall leadership. Queen's Hall is actually a hall in the KNUST, those of you who don't know. And I was also very active with the Faculty Students Association. I spent a whole lot of time with a student association called ISEC. And this is a part of my life that I speak about with great nostalgia. So it is the sum total of all my encounters in school, all my encounters with the faculty associations, my community of friends in my hall, my encounters with ISEC, which really gave me an idea of who I really was. And this idea of my identity came in handy in my early years of my career. I mentioned to you that I was a computer science student, but let me admit that I was very bad at programming. I just couldn't sit at one place. And you know what programming requires, right? What are the computer science students? You will sit down hours on end. I couldn't sit. I always wanted to move. Although my first job required knowledge of programming, it also offered opportunities that went beyond the knowledge of mere programming, which I quickly grasped, like marketing, customer service, sales. Although it wasn't such a well-paying job, I was determined to solidify my standing in the small foothold that I've been presented with. My dear graduates, one thing I learned early is that we all have different timelines in life, and different opportunities come to us at different times. I also believe that everyone here has a unique story and therefore a unique future. But in this journey, you are going to have some smooth runs, some real successes, some tough moments, some really difficult times, and some failures. You had your own expectations when you came to Ashesi. You've had different experiences, different turns and fears, which you mostly have had to overcome. Indeed, there is now a part of your life that is behind you. And for the rest of your life, you are going to talk about some of your experience you have had here at Ashesi, some with excitement, some with some degree of trepidation, and some with nostalgia. But it's important for me at this stage to mention that this stage of your life and how far you have come is indeed the easiest of your encounters yet. I hope I didn't scare you. Some of you have excelled in your courses that have been at the center of your heart. You really, really wanted to do these courses. We hear the engineering students, the MIS students, the administration students, the computer science. You really wanted these courses. There are also some of you who chose your courses because you were just good at them. And there are others who had no choice but to do what the school offered them. I was one of them. I had no clue what computer science was when I was entering KNUST. I wanted to do pharmacy, I didn't get, and they said, look, we can help you with computers, and I said, yes, sir. There are still those of you who had to do courses because your parents had instructed. Guess what? The real world requires more than all these categories that I've mentioned. And to those parents who force their children into courses which they ordinarily wouldn't have done, I want to humbly suggest to you that it's time to come and collect the certificates on their behalf. For this is what you have done. Are you cool? Now, don't get me wrong. You will need all the knowledge that you have acquired from Ashesi University, whether you intended to do the course or not. Indeed, when I was doing computer science, one of my worst courses was operations research. I didn't know where that thing was taking me. And I didn't encounter it in my work life. In fact, I kept asking myself on a daily basis, so why that course? Minimization, optimization. Oh, I said, what is that? Guess what? When I checked into University of Leicester for my master's program, in the entire class, I was the only person who knew stuff about operations, research, and management. Hooray! So yes, you did it. You didn't like it, but hey, there are lessons there. For you to share your knowledge with all the skills that you have acquired here on campus, the values that have been passed on to you, the positive attributes that are associated with this university, and the lessons that you have learned, and I know you've learned a lot of those. There's one big thing that I do not want you to take for granted, and that is the friends that you have made. You realize very quickly that the world is about networking, and therefore building value-laden relationships in an environment like this gives you a head start in this world of networking and relationships. Standing before you here, I'll be the first to say I have been a 200% beneficiary of networking and relationships building. Indeed, it's through my commitment to relationships building that gave me my entry into the media. I was only recommended by my late friend and Queen's Hall mate, Mr. Daniel Chung Jr. of blessed memory, who's the founder of the advertising agency Originate. May his soul rest in peace. He recommended me to be a part of a startup radio station in 1995, where I ended up working for 5-6 years of my life. The radio station, which now has grown to become multimedia broadcasting networks. Through the power of relationships building, my friend, Dr. Seth Asamoah Mensah, just offered to pay my admissions fee without any charge to me, just to help me enter University of Leicester where I had my master's degree. Again, through the power of relationships building, my brother and friend, Mr. Steve Mawonyega, created an opportunity for me to be employed by Coca-Cola West Africa in the year 2002. Is that all? No. Just hear this. Through the power of relationships, my friend by the name of Paul Adomotre invited me to be part of another startup radio station, which is City FM, in the year 2004. And the rest, they say, is history. Ashesi University, you have just produced another set of game changers. A new generation of thinkers. And ladies and gentlemen, we are happy to have you come do the job of rebuilding our country, Ghana, and rebuilding our continent, Africa. Like I said, your future has just begun. But don't be entrapped in the failures of the generations that have gone ahead of you. It's time for you to rewrite the Ghana story, regardless of the challenges. It's time for you to rewrite the African story, despite the daunting challenges. Ashesi University has given you what it takes, because we all know where this university stands in the league of the world's universities. True? For me, I had all my relevant education in Ghana. Yes, all in Ghana. For the first 6 years of my basic education, I changed schools 6 times, making it 1 year, 1 school. Indeed, I was ahead of 1D, 1F. Apologies to our president. And as you heard, I ended up at KNUST, which was good for my time. But I believe Ashesi provides solutions to a good number of the problems that have plagued us over the years. I pray you don't come out of this bastion of excellence only to join the polarized, binary thinking African societies where we have created thinking and opinion camps that are literally opposed to each other in the name of political parties. Those who have not focused on the real agenda of developing our nations, but just preserving our forms and the status quo. Development has become a zero-sum game for these actors who believe that Party A's successes should necessarily result in Party B's failures. I say a big no. We should not become our own enemies, and in this context, development should not be a zero-sum game. Why should we be more concerned about losing our elections than losing our communities? Why should we lose sleep over losing the elections than losing the very elements that put our societies and our countries together? What we see around us today in our communities, in our societies, in our countries, on our continent, are what they are as a result of the actions, the decisions, and the choices that were made by those ahead of us. But it's time, again, to write our own stories. It's time to create our own pathways. It's time to devise our own legacies. Your families are looking up to you. Your community is looking up to you. And your country is looking up to you. The world awaits you, my dear Ashesi graduates. Go forth and shine. And I thank you once again. God bless
you. That was a great speech. And we thank you for the advice and all that you have given us. The clouds have started gathering, and therefore I'm going to move a little. I'll move faster. And so I will call upon a class rep of 2019. Mr. Islam Premper, to quickly come and make some gifts, present them to our commencement speaker, and also to the president of Ashesi University.
Class of 2019, congratulations. We made it. Over our past 4 years, we have been accustomed and have gotten the opportunity to experience wonderful geniuses, amazing connections, wonderful staff and faculty, amazing professors, friends and family, and most importantly, the vision and mission of Ashesi University. My name is Samuel Kwame Ajimai Prempe, and I'm more than honored to have represented all of us. As I stand here today, I'm here to present the class gift. But before that, we would like to honor our commencement speaker, Mr. Samuel Atamensa. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today, for sharing your thoughts with the class of 2019. We're so grateful that you made time to speak with us as we move into the world, the real world, especially that as a Liverpool fan, you have so much on your mind ahead of tonight's game. And so, on behalf of the entire class, I would like to officially welcome you as an honorary member. I would like to present you with an Ashesi Kente stole as a way of saying thank you to us today. Sir, could you please come up forward? It is our desire that you will hang this up, and every time you look at it, you remember this day and the students you have shared your experiences with. More importantly, we hope that you remember that we are out there doing amazing things. Thank you. And now to the class of 2019, our class gift. Since joining the community, we have seen the progressive efforts that has been made by both the faculty and staff to strengthen social and mental health awareness on campus. As students today, we have seen the importance of supporting our school. And I'm so happy to announce that the entire class of 2019 is donating 5,000 Ghana cedis to mental health awareness here on campus. To make it more amazing, the class of 2019 has made history and is the second class ever in the history of Ashesi University to have 100% participation in the class gifts. This shows a great extent to which every single one of us believes in the vision of every student here. To present the class gift, I'd like to call on Patrick and Dean Abdul. Every single contribution. 100% is no joke. And by this, you have promised that you are helping every single person in their mental health awareness. As we leave, our very last words that we have for us all is to stand out and finally be extra. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Samuel. Thank you very much for those gifts. We've reached a very important stage of our program. Ashesi is built on 3 pillars of scholarship, leadership, and citizenship. And these are the highest awards in Ashesi. I now invite the to read the citation while the president of the university, Dr. Patrick Owa, hands over the awards.
Thank you. The Scholarship, Leadership, and Citizenship Award is given to graduates who have lived out Ashesi's core values during their time at the university. These awardees have contributed in outstanding ways to Ashesi's mission and have had a strong impact on the Ashesi community. This is the highest award a student can receive at Ashesi and is presented by the president of the university. Our first awardee is a force multiplier, not only in his year group, but to others on campus. It is difficult to name just one thing that he has done that makes him loved and respected by our community. But one word we can use to describe him is selfless. In 3 consecutive years during Ashesi Innovation Experience, he spent hundreds of hours to tutor over 90 students in design thinking methodology and robot programming using Python. We still don't know how this awardee managed to balance the AIX role and be on the dean's list from first year to final year, and do extensive research using ethnographic research methods that resulted in the creation of 6 user personas for analysis and ideation to help the betterment of healthcare in nearby communities. The tenacity with which he used his passion for programming languages, project management, and design thinking in various out-of-class activities is just mind-boggling. With ease and once again putting others' interests at heart, he, as part of close-knit team, ran one of the most vibrant student council ever in Ashesi's history. He went on to help organize Seniors Day by crafting new and improved activities to make the day an exceptional one. As he served his peers that one last time, he displayed his usual modesty, good cheer, and grace. As the thinker Lao Tzu observed, quote, "A leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done, his aim fulfilled, they will say, we did it ourselves," end of quote. It was unlikely Ashesi would fail to notice this giant of a leader amongst us, but when his work was done, we certainly felt we did it ourselves. For so strongly representing the Ashesi ideals of scholarship, leadership, and citizenship, we present this award to Joseph Peter Yofi Brown Provost. Our next awardee is described as balanced, brilliant, and fiercely independent. She winning the reading challenge in her first semester. Fast forward to her last semester, she graduates today with one of the highest cumulative GPAs on record. She steps up to any role and exceeds expectations no matter how high. With zeal, she served as one of the most proactive resident assistants in Ashesi by always making sure her hostel was home to all. She was adept at resolving conflicts, prompt in reporting issues and assisting to get them fixed, and was always looking out for her hall members, especially the first year. Constantly, this awardee staged her presence as a go-to person to solve problems, and she was always generous with her time. Be it tutoring students on new programming concepts, organizing tutorial sessions to help freshmen build software applications on Ashesi campus, or providing optimal solutions to 01 knapsack problem as an exchange student in College of Worcester in US. When the now highly acclaimed Tech Era endeavor started as a small student project, she was one of its champions. She spearheaded the creation of the computing curriculum for students with disabilities. The team went on to train teachers, rolled out the initial program, and enlisted more volunteers and partners to push Tech Era to become the promising startup that it has become today. We did say she is brilliant, but she is also fun, very loyal, hospitable, down to earth, and most importantly, a true advocate for both the strong and the weak. As we celebrate this graduation now, this awardee is one of the very selected few students currently in the US to be part of highly sought after program, the Applied Methods and Research Experience, AMRE for short. This is an exchange program where Ashesi and College of Worcester students get the opportunity to apply classroom learning as organizational consultants, and where students participants are exposed to practical applications of their liberal arts education in real-world setting. For so strongly representing the Ashesi ideals of scholarship, leadership, and citizenship, we present this award to Emanuela Duke. To come and receive the award on her behalf, I'd like to call on her mom, Mrs. Edem Duke, to the stage. final awardee was a recipient of Ashesi Innovation Award, Student Excellence Award, African Future Leader Fellow, Millennium Fellow for the United Nations Academic Impact, Chairman's Award recipient for the International Genetically Engineered Machine Competition, Silver Medal recipient for the iGEM competition, a delegate for the Young Diplomats of Ghana, a consistent Dean's List feature, JEC officer, president of Code the Change Club, and on and on and on. This student is undoubtedly a take-charge person who leaves no tables unturned when it comes to giving of his best. Whilst a student at Ashesi, he attained a professional certificate in cybersecurity engineering from the Kofi Annan Peacekeeping Training Center and a grade A in digital circuits and platforms from the University of Tampere in Finland. As part of his service during the summers, he built a desktop application to generate and organize examination schedules for students in the University of Ghana and other applications for the Ministry of Communications, a Conferring Hotel, and Ashesi University. His scholarly activities and persistence extended beyond the walls of Ashesi. He is a well-developed and all-round student. He is outstanding and very well behaved in all areas of his life. Above all, this student is very respectful, respected, sincere, and a role model for his peers. As we celebrate this graduation now, this awardee is one of a very selected few students currently in the U.S. to be part of highly sought-after program, the Applied Methods and Research Experience, AMRE. For so strongly representing the Ashesi ideals of scholarship, leadership, and citizenship, we present this award to David Sasu to come and take on David's behalf. I'd like to welcome the grandmother who has been a pillar in his life, Felicia Sasu. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Abdul. It's time to confer degrees on our graduates. I will leave the podium for the Provost and the President of the University to confer the degrees and award the certificates as well. Thank you. Sir.
Will the graduating students of the Business Administration program of Ashesi University please rise? Will the graduating students of the Computer Science program of Ashesi University please rise? Will the graduating students of the Management Information Systems program at Ashesi University please rise? Will the graduating students of the Engineering program of Ashesi University please rise? Angela Owuswansa, Provost of Ashesi University, present to you the graduates of the college standing before you and others who are unavoidably absent and for whom I stand proxy. These graduates have followed the approved programs of study over the stipulated period, passed the required examinations, fulfilled all necessary requirements, and have thus become eligible for the academic degrees to which their studies entitle them. I pray for conferment of the degrees due them.
By the power vested in me by the Board of Directors of Ashesi University and the Republic of Ghana, I, Patrick Ewa, the President of Ashesi University, confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Science and admit you to all the rights and privileges of the degree. I accept my congratulations. You may take your seat now, bachelors. Okay, so I'd like to invite Dr. Amar to present the graduates for Bachelor of Science in Business Administration.
Will the graduating business administration students please rise and approach the podium for their degrees? Kwesi Kwako Kobo, cum laude. Jean Ni Odate Kwakupum. Angela Nantambi. Congratulations. Luella Kinsembo, congratulations. Nana Ehua Abema Akwe, congratulations. Clara Akosia Nyantechiwa Boate. Nana Kwachiwa Kwache. Kevin Kwame Blankson, congratulations. Aisha Abba Muhammad, congratulations. Timothy Baiba Bakburo, cum laude, congratulations. Henrika Mutoni Amwafu. Malihatu Zisun Lai, congratulations. Congratulations. Jifa Abla Anagla. Abna Pokia Mansa Bando, cum laude. Yasmin Kofi Alhassan, magna cum laude. Wow. Mark Stephen Kofi, magna cum laude. Kwesi Asari Chire. Charles Jokutu, congrats. Nelson. Owen Ni Aje Masupe. Francis Amiao, congratulations. Deron Nana Sechi Sam. Ajimam Bedru Prempe, congratulations. Albert Wilfred Cole. Jennifer Akia Echampoma Echampom, cum laude. Rudolph Amankwa Daddy. Elona Boating, congratulations. Hubert Mama Akita, cum laude. Amy Lamki Seto Pente. Samuel Kwame Ajibantente. Donald Parko Anderson, congratulations. Charles Martin Battle, Calvin Kweku Ayivi. Jawad Mubin Nilai Koli. Maureen Molly Basmera. Gideon Ni Ama Lami. Chantel Osei Nyako, congrats. Gladys Rita Einu. Mamiefua Hazel, congrats. Julia Ejewa Diodu. Wait to take the picture. Prince Pakwesi Kwansa. Elom Kwame. Yao Brinkran Minta. Hamza Kamara, congratulations. Brenis Nahone Omberi, congratulations. Congratulations, BA graduates.
So I'd like to invite Dr. Ayoko Kosa to present the candidates for computer science and MIS.
the graduating students for computer science please rise and approach the podium? Jojo Enu, cum laude. Kwame Owusu-Boahene, magna cum laude. Aaron Kojo Boating Bediakum. Joshua Nana Kweku Osei Bruce Atta. Kelvin Kweku Degboche. Pearl Makafui Gemega. Seram Chachu Kate. Oluwatobi Oluwajimi Adelaja. Alex Njoge Waweru. Claire Chemutai. Wuya Joe. Frederick Peter Apatu Planche, cum laude. Wayne Jotham Gako. Faith Mweni Kilonzi. Nanis Kanana, cum laude. Primrose Ruvimbo Katina. Ekio Toluwani Shama Odoko. Elvis Oko Summa cum laude. Ni Kwate Boy Kwate. Benjamin Kusi. Would the graduating students for the Management Information Systems major please rise and approach the podium? Joseph Peter Yofi Brown Pobi, cum laude. Emmanuel Henry Ni Yateboy Annan. Pa Kofi Ejulabi, cum laude. Adeline Regina Kwe Foley. Cynthia Mhonja. Pauline Dorcas Owino. Ethel Adongo, cum laude. Sandra Osei Minta. David Damwa Bono Boanu, Ramat Ajike Raji, cum laude. Nabo Samuel Eli. Nana Araba Ejiba Tofa, summa cum laude. Verissa Marian Owusu, cum laude. Mami Efua Dadzi. Thomas Kramer Sam, magna cum laude. Nana Obeng Manu. Emmanuel Nunu. Nana Kwame Oting Dakwa. Dennis Wanyoni Sifuna. Felix Omondi Oyo. Etonam Yao Toche. Karen Eva Tepinate. Selam Ya Waku. Ekab Osowu Samuel Tawu. Emmanuel Derry Wanye. Emmanuel Agama. Christopher Kafui Kobla Zenu, cum laude. Josephine Afiansa Abe. Nana Abna Sapuma Osei. Jenny Kafui Oklu. Carol Na Amoko Ama. Nana Aba Fukua Edi. Congratulations.
I'd like to invite Dr. Nathan Amankwa to present the engineering graduates.
Can the graduating students for computer engineering rise and approach? Gloria Atasetre. Kalisa Abina Usua Usu. Samuel Ebenezer Banyan. Maknobo Brako Kusi. Zaneta Asari. Raymond Andipi Saka. Genesis Tangong Nchuper. Delasi Kokufui Fumi. Stefan Nyako Ufosuhine. Emmanuel Nimo. Edwin Adachi, magna cum laude. Joshua Kasiri, cum laude. Can the graduating students for electrical and electronic engineering rise and approach? Mikilina Selassie Anagba, magna cum laude. Asantua Ajua Bremang, magna cum laude. Kofi Amira. Charlotte A.C. Abraham. With Abdul Ghaffar Adam Apia. Mamie Kia Afrakuma Wusuansa. Jacob Nisaki van der Poy. Kofi Anamwa Mensa. Claude Noel Akoli Tamaklu, magna cum laude. Devi Ayune Atanga. Leonard Kwagriyesu. Victor Hazel. Yvette Umamikazi. Margaret Ayango Odero, magna cum laude. Isau Mandu. Ronald Tumuheri. Justice Valentine Suman. Kausara Nuruddin Sali, cum laude. Samantha Fafadi Aku Chei. Martin Walter Ampa. Can the graduating students for mechanical engineering rise and approach? Adam Jojo Spew. Jennifer Alistair Panashi. Nana Oye Indasi Jan. Michael Kisidankwa. Dokus Nakachwa, cum laude. Kwamena Isando Amwaku. Melvin Selassie Kwashi. Wilfred James Amut Godfred. Eugene Kujai Jamu. Romeo Nete. Ezekiel Senye Homeku. Benjamin Anan. Benjamin Asari. David Kofi Etia. Hadija Turi, cum laude. Sybil Tinemishi Upazriu. Enam Efokojo Nanime, cum laude. David, cum laude. Congratulations to all of you.
Yeah, take your seat. Thank you for conferring the degrees on our graduates. They are now graduates. So could you all please rise? I'm talking about the graduates. Please rise. It's now time to turn your tassels on your cap. So you are now graduates. Turn your tassels from right to left. And now wave to all the people around. Turn your back and wave your parents and friends and families. And thank them for a good job done. Congratulations. Please sit down. I have the honor to invite the president of the Ashesi Alumni Council, Abdul Latif Isahaku, who completed 5 to address the graduates.
Thank you. Dear class of 2019, congratulations. May I respectfully ask you to rise? You have now become part of a strong community of Ashesi graduates who continue to pursue a shared mission to be models of good leadership, long-life scholars, and responsible citizens in various communities across Africa and beyond. To recognize this shared purpose and our commitment to our responsibility as Ashesi alumni, I invite you today to join me in taking this pledge. Please repeat after me. As a graduate of Ashesi University, I acknowledge my responsibility to this community and the generations of students and alumni yet to come. Okay, let's take it again. As a graduate of Ashesi University, I acknowledge my responsibility to this community and the generations of students and alumni yet to come. In the spirit of scholarship, I will continue to pursue and share knowledge with the understanding that there is always more to learn. In the spirit of leadership, I will hold myself to Ashesi's code of ethics and integrity. Always taking responsibility for my actions. And asking others to hold themselves to same. In the spirit of citizenship, I will actively contribute my work, wisdom and wealth to this community and others beyond it, sustaining the well-being of the Ashesi community, the continent it calls home, and the world at large. Congratulations again, class of 2019. For the class of 2009, who graduated 10 years ago, may I respectfully invite my fellow alumni, Joseph Hansen, to address you. Thank you. seated. So now that it's official, 2019. Oh, that's right, 2019. You can do a bit better, 2019. So I bring you greetings from 2009. It's a real honor to be here with you, celebrating 10 years since our graduation as Ashesi students, even as you begin your first year as Ashesi alumni. The beginning is what Ashesi means in Fanti, and that is exactly what it meant to the class of 2009 when we first joined this community for varying reasons. We operated in 3 nondescript buildings in Laboni, nothing like what we have here today, yet it was still one of the best educational experiences for all of us. Ashesi's message of providing a new beginning, of educating a new generation of ethical, entrepreneurial leaders in Africa remains as intriguing today as it was then for those of us coming from a system where too little emphasis was placed on real learning and more on just passing exams. So as the 5th graduating class of Ashesi, not for a single day have we regretted being a part of this community. At 90 students, we were at the time the largest class the university had ever admitted, and Patrick will tell you we made sure we left quite the mark by design or by. In fact, many of the traditions you share as students here today were started by our class, and it's not part of the script, but I must mention that Crazy Day was started by 2009. We were not perfect, however, having the official and dubious honor of being the first class to have to rewrite our exams, and with even more regret, also being the only class in Ashesi's history not to have officially signed up to the honor code. But that's a story for another day. Yes, the boos are well deserved. But today we represent the impact of an Ashesi education on our individual lives, the lives of our families, and the places where we live and work. My members of this class now lead in various teams and organizations here in Ghana and beyond. My classmates play significant roles across various industries, from media to technology to education to banking, from organizations like Vodafone, Amazon, KPMG, to self-owned businesses like LOLGH and Mickey's Chips. More importantly, we express our gratitude to the university that molded us and inspired us to live above the status quo, no matter how long it took us to learn and embrace this. So over the next few months of this year, we look forward to collectively celebrating our decennial with Ashesi and strengthening our give-back efforts to our university and our colleague students. To you, class of 2019 or 2019, treasure all that Ashesi has taught you, as she taught us. Undoubtedly, your experiences here would not have been the same as ours, but we are confident that the values of this place remain the same. Make your time spent here count. People remain amazed that exams here are written in the absence of invigilators. Demonstrate to them that our commitment to doing the right thing lives beyond exams. They get amazed at our knowledge and attention to detail. Demonstrate to them that it can be done. They get amazed at our willingness to embrace the unknown, to try the untried and face challenges head on. Demonstrate to them that we share a spirit of adventure and possibility. Never mind that you'll be called too known. Never mind that expectations will be higher for you than for others. Be inspired and be driven by it. Do not let Ashesi or yourselves down. Ashesi made it possible for each and every one of us to dream. We are still living out our dreams. We owe it to ourselves to ensure that others behind us get to live their dreams too. But the one who gave your commencement speech mentioned it earlier, and I must also state that the 209 also holds the lead, as far as we know, for intra-class marriages. Yes, our tally currently stands. Very much.
Thank you, the class of 2009. We have come to the end of this program. After the recess, We want all the graduates, then the faculty members, and those on the stage, together with Nana Otenkranche II and his linguist, to go to the bleachers for some photographs. I now invite the Provost, Professor Angela Owusu-Ansah, to dissolve this assembly.
Nana Otenkranche II, Brekusuhene and Trafuhene of the Ekwapim traditional area, Nananum, Board of Directors of Ashesi University, the President of Ashesi University, members of Convocation, distinguished guests, class of 2019, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Board of Directors of Ashesi University and on my own behalf, I wish to express our sincere appreciation to you all for honoring our invitation to attend the 15th graduation ceremony of Ashesi University. I wish you all safe journey back to your respective destinations. I now declare the 15th graduation ceremony of Ashesi University officially dissolved. Congratulations, 2019.
All right, thank you. So let us all rise for the recession march. Yes, let the drums begin to play. Yes, let them sound.
Isaac. Ike.